that thing just fades out really suddenly. It's just we're live, So yeah, I need to probably put together a more energetic intro. I think that'd be good. And also,
I'm just trying to work out what it's in. It's in F minor. There you go.
that's good to know, actually. Now that you
well, if you start mixing stuff and
yeah, F minor. That's so. Is there something special about the F minor chord or F minor? Is the key? What is it? The key of F minor, or just the note is F minor?
Well, no, it's predominantly one chord, really. So it's more like, hang on, be more like, sorry, sort of that chord. So it's made out of like F. Sorry, I need a keyboard in front of me. Anyway, but nothing particularly special. No.
I was just wondering if it's one of those particular frequencies that just sort of harmonizes in the brain in some special way, puts people into a hypnotic state, a suggestive state, or something like that. It's quite mellow in any case. I was thinking of putting together an intro that would just be much more energetic. I mean, I did put together one that was like more Japanese kind of baby metal style. Maybe I'll upload it onto here at some point and just do that. But it was more sort of mafftopia, and then a string of Japanese and so on. But it's the people I've played it to seemed more freaked out by it than excited or whatever. So I'm not so sure about them. Anyway,
was that mostly your family?
Yes, yeah, and they're meant to be polite, aren't they? So that's great, insincere, faint praise. But no, there's a straight out rejection. Anyway, welcome everybody, and we've got a fair number watching. I keep losing the thing where it shows. Oh no, we did have a fair number of people watching, but I think we just lost 2 of them. But okay. I'm sure we'll make up the numbers again pretty soon. Hope so. So yeah, we've actually got a super packed show today, and so this is Mafftopia Science and Technology News with the latest scientific breakthroughs, technology things, and we're actually live right here twice a week, including right now. I'm Maff, and this is my friend and co-host Save the Crypto. Welcome. How are you?
I'm fine, actually. I'm all right. So slightly downbeat because my car didn't pass its MOT, actually, but it's only because it needs a tire. No, it needs a tire. The oil leak wasn't a problem because it's very minor. So yeah, I just need a tire. So yeah, but unfortunately, what I didn't realise in the UK, so my MOT runs out April the 6th. So I thought I'll take it along start of March, and then the MOT will run from April the 6th, which is correct. However, if it fails on something that's dangerous, like a tire, technically it hasn't got an MOT anymore. So I can't. I actually can't drive it. So I can't.
That's terrible. So it's a bit of a loophole gotcha type of thing, isn't it? Which is not great at all. On the plus side, I guess, well, the other drivers and pedestrians around you are going to be that bit safer. so I wouldn't complain too much on that one.
Yeah. Also, if some amazing offer to go somewhere happens in the next sort of day, and it involves me driving at high speed on a motorway, I'll probably say, actually, I won't do that. Because I need a tire. So yeah, there is that.
Good point. Yeah. So essentially, then today we've actually got a lot to talk about. A lot. Well, I mean, 2 things really. Essentially, two main topics.
A lot. No, it's 2.
Well, yeah. It's, depends on your interpretation. I mean, within those 2 main topics, there's a lot. There's like a lot of life-changing breakthroughs and things of that ilk that we're going to cover. So I would say let's get straight to it. Play a thing.
Mafftopia technology, science, breakthroughs, discoveries, news.
Well, there you go. So the first thing is about AI finding a hidden low-frequency liquid-like ion signal. Just say ion, should I not? Like ion signal for better solid-state batteries. And for this, I'm going to bring up this little thing here. So, by the way, I think part of that is hidden by the logo. It doesn't say rent technology. It's current technology. So, yeah, essentially, the thing with this is like a really good example of how AI is. Sorry, I'm just trying to drag a window across. Just sort your life out, math. So yeah, this is a really good example of kind of just AI being put to really good use. It's like the kind of ideal use case for it, really, in that it's finding things that human researchers obviously haven't yet, and yet AI now has, but also being controlled by human researchers. There's still humans in the loop. So essentially, this is yeah, a way to find its way to well, better solid state batteries, but actual solid state batteries that can then go into consumer devices. And the good thing with them is that they won't catch fire, apparently. Like never ever, they would never catch fire because it's just not a inherent property of this type of battery. And that they'll also last, like each charge will last for a lot longer. I may put a year of charge in the video thumbnail, but that might be a bit of an exaggeration. But it's going to work its way in that direction for sure. So essentially with this, then this has been kind of something that's been very, very missing for very missing for kind of energy storage, just the solid state battery. So there's been like one kind of microscopic mystery, you could say, that's just been preventing solid state batteries from finding their way into phones and so on. And it's essentially how to make ions move through a solid block of material as fast as they do through a liquid. So essentially, as of March 2026, that is this month, isn't it? Yeah, this month. That mystery may have just been solved, not by a chemist in a lab coat, it says here, because they're idiots, but by an AI looking for a hidden shimmer in the dark.
Why March the 26th?
No, March 2026.
Oh, sorry. I was going to say, right, it's about to be discovered. Right. Okay. Right.
Yeah, exactly. So we just peeked into the future. Well, I suppose this is all kind of peeking into the future a little bit. So essentially, yeah, this breakthrough is has been created by a bunch of researchers. There's a team who have published in the journal AI for Science. Or I should have got a picture of the cover of that or something. But anyway, AI for Science is a scientific journal, and within there they've kind of unveiled this new like ML machine learning pipeline that can rabbit ears sort of quote see fast moving ions. The system uses two heavy hitting AI architectures. So first there's machine learning force fields. Is that actually on this thing as well? I suppose it isn't really. We could maybe just quickly explore this a little bit, because this kind of shows you lithium ion batteries as they are at the moment. They're cheap, proven technology, good conductivity, it says there, and this sort of thing happens, kind of chemical reaction, and more pros. Whoa! Oh, it's the same pros. Okay, and without the typo in this one, conductivity. The cons though are you get your dendrite formations. You don't want your dendrites. So essentially that's a big risk of short circuiting and fire. Is kind of where that part of it happens, really. Lower energy density, and in addition, flammable. I was going to say, in addition to being a fire risk, is also a fire risk. So, bit of a double whammy right there. So, but the after one, this is like the before and after, with the initial picture of like the diet pills or diet supplements or whatever. The initial one is someone looking rather baggy, rather flabby, and then the after one is them looking happy and suntanned and really pulling their tummy in, standing up straight. So the future breakthrough for solid state batteries, the pros are kind of the opposites of the cons over here, really. It's like head and shoulders, isn't it? Prevents dendrites, fast charging, but manufacturing these at scale is going to be a continued problem. That's so, it's a progress thing.
So what's it made of?
Oh, kittens, obviously. But well, it's made of ions. Don't ask me more than that. Well, okay, so yeah, you're right. What's it made of? It's basically made, or will be made, I suppose, from a material that these scientists appear to have invented, or rather their pet AI appears to have invented. And so we can go into that a bit, actually. So yeah, so the system, the AI system that they're using, it actually incorporates two different AI architectures. So there's a machine learning force fields, or MLFFs. Apparently they're commonly known in the world of machine learning force fields. So, but it is a type of machine learning model, essentially, or is a type of machine learning, I should say. These models simulate the movement of atoms with the accuracy of quantum physics, but much quicker, like as in the sense that they learn a lot quicker, a lot faster, rather, a lot more quickly. So second, the other bit, the other sort of AI architecture is tensorial machine learning models. So these were trained specifically to predict something called RAMAN SPECTRE, essentially the vibrational fingerprint of a material. So, and anyone wondering, who might be wondering, a tensor, so because the tensorial machine learning model, so a tensor is a kind of a geometry thing. So it's a multi-dimensional array that preserves the relationships between points in space. With me so far? It gets heavier, but I'm
still not quite sure how to make one.
Yeah. I'm not sure if anyone will be able to make one just yet, anyway. So I wouldn't worry. So essentially, so while this AI was looking at a sodium ion conductor called Na3SBS4, which is sodium antimony sulfide, the AI spotted something that those puny humans had missed. It identified a specific low frequency signal, or a shimmer, in the data, and I think it looks a bit. And that was how they identified it, because through the electron microscope they actually saw the words Raman shimmer appear like that. So or glimmer, rather. Well, no, it's a shimmer and a glimmer, I suppose. So yeah, so the signal that the AI detected during its modeling or whatever was basically a liquid-like ion flow. So you kind of see it. Well, I mean, we don't see it. They see it when ions move so fast that they break the crystal's symmetry. It's like just destructive kind of speed. Then the ions just kind of glide through the lattice as if the solid had turned into a fluid, which is kind of profound, really. so the thing is, yeah. So how close are we to actually owning one of these? Because I think this is kind of what you were wondering, wasn't it? Just like
Yeah.
How do you make one? But you may not need to. You should be able to buy one soon. So if I just click onto that, I should be able to just do that. Yay! No. Oh no! I should have just sorry. I should have moved on to this infographic while I was going through that stuff. But yeah, this kind of tells you all about what it's doing. Darn. Excuse my language. But yeah, so essentially this is kind of how they got to that. So the input was raw material data, track into the ML force fields model, through which is doing this fast atomic motion simulation. The kind of the massaged processed data was then fed into the tensors, and this then predicts the Raman spectra, i.e. the vibrational fingerprint, the shimmer, and from that they detected that this would create a liquid-like ion flow, and then from that they can kind of output essentially just like designs for different types of materials, and I think they kind of settled on one in particular that showed the most promise. So and then from that material they could then in theory develop these like actual solid state batteries that don't require like flammable liquids shaking around inside your phone essentially and catching fire as they probably might, well, as they sometimes do, don't they? So timeline. Yeah, so when can we have one of these super long lasting, super safe batteries? So 2032. so a little bit of time to wait.
That's all right. That's all right.
Yeah. It's actually not that far away, really, is it? So the timeline kind of started then. So 2024 to 2025, the foundation. So scientists back then identified the potential of sodium sulfide materials, but struggled with the massive computing power that they were going to need to model them, because they're running these on like ZX spectrums and things back in 2024. So March 2026, like now, the breakthrough, the AI, I'm saying ramen, like it's ramen noodles, but I guess it's ramen. The AI ramen pipeline is perfected, apparently, they say, allowing researchers to screen 10,000 potential materials. Oh, wow, it was actually 10,000. They're saying like they came up with a few candidate materials and chose one, but actually 10,000 candidate materials, material designs, really. So that obviously accelerated things quite a lot, the fact they were able to do that. Then so what they should, close the window, there's a helicopter flying by. I live in this ridiculously noisy neighborhood. It's a nice neighborhood, but like during the day, there's always like leaf blowers and like petrol powered hedge trimmers and things like that. And then towards this sort of time, that there's like police helicopters just hovering around. I hope they're not hovering over my house. That's a bit worrying.
Probably, yeah. Probably it's to do with this space age technology you're talking about. By the way,
state secrets and so on.
Yeah. By the way, ramen, the noodles, is spelled MEN, not MAN.
Yes.
But I suppose it is like ramen. Well, I suppose the plural of ramen is ramen.
It's true. Yeah. How many ramen clowns can fit in a mini, that sort of thing?
Okay.
Existential question there, isn't it? So yeah. So where are we on to? Yes. So I guess 2027 to 2028, the prototype phase. So this is where we're kind of expecting to see the first lab scale. So not like manufacturing scale, but lab scale superionic cells, as they're calling them. These will pretty likely target like energy densities of over 500 watt hours per kilo, and that To put that in perspective, that's about double a Tesla Model 3 battery. So meaning that I guess in something the size of a Tesla Model 3 battery, you could kind of fit twice the amount of like usable, efficient energy in it. So 2030 estimated they could shift to the pilot phase, which would be like initial like production for mission critical tech, like your quadcopters and drones that you can buy on Amazon and things like that. Is that mission critical? I'm not sure, but high altitude drones and medical implants. They're going to the pilot phase is going to be medical implants, where safety is non-negotiable. I suppose you don't really want a medical implant that's going to just suddenly burst into flames.
Well, no, but more to the point is like things like pacemakers have a battery in, so so you have to change them every now and again, so
for sure.
Quite good if you put a pacemaker into someone who's 70 that would last for 30 years. That would be quite good, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Yeah. If they could keep going, for definite. But also, I suppose, like if they if they're I mean, so for the safety angle of this, because like this would need to be kind of licensed, wouldn't it, and go through all the kind of medical phases of that, just being like proved safe through like safety trials and so on. So I think that's why I'm thinking like 27 to 28 for these batteries, these new types of batteries actually going into things like pacemakers is probably a little bit ambitious. And if they rushed it through, that might be a bit worrying. So that you'd imagine maybe that would be one of the last things that they would kind of start to put these into. But that said, I could definitely see it for things like drones. If they're intended to like blow things up or something anyway, then it doesn't really matter too much if it goes wrong. Excuse me, but yeah, so that's the pilot sort of phase, pilot shift. Then 2032, like a couple of years later, mass market, and that's assuming that they can crack the scaling problem, the manufacturing problem, and that's when we would hopefully expect to see like solid state sodium electric vehicles to just, it says here, to hit the showroom floor, but just to be on the showroom floor, I think would be fine. So, but yeah, but don't trade in your car just yet. There are still major hurdles. So, the first one, as I was saying, is kind of manufacturing. Oh, it says there, doesn't it? First one is manufacturing scale. So that's meant to say ion scale, in case you're wondering. So probably, no, is it ton scale? What's ton scale? I don't know. Anyway, so even if ions move fast inside the electrolytes, then they often get stuck at the sort of gate where the electrolyte meets the electrode. So that's very much something that they would kind of need to be able to solve. I think that's probably that one, isn't it? Like if they can figure out a new coating or something just to make that work, essentially. And then the second part of it is manufacturing scale. So growing these perfect kind of liquid flow crystals in a lab apparently is easy, but in a lab, so that is ton scale. Okay, so doing it by the ton in a factory without introducing defects is a pretty big engineering challenge. There's always a certain amount of fault tolerance for these things, isn't there? Or like in each batch, say in each batch of 100, how many of those are basically just faulty, rolling off the production line and have to be chucked out or whatever. So like if they can get it above some number, there's probably some manufacturing number, isn't there, that's that's deemed acceptable, like, you know, for profits and so on. So yeah, whatever that threshold number is, they obviously need to get it past that. And yeah, so yeah, it's looking good though. It's looking close. So that one thing I very quickly wanted to mention, although this is potentially a bit too much detail, so it's kind of the AI versus ML, like machine learning thing, because it is kind of a detail that tends to get blurred in all of the AI hype, because we talk about AI, think of it as like a chatbot and this sort of thing, and a bit more general purpose, it's reasoning, versus like machine learning, ML, which is much more kind of like we've got this kind of like, whether it's a tensor model or whatever, and it's just running a specific thing. It's more of a kind of like you know, doing the physics, number crunching, processing and things. So might go into that just a bit, but just a fair warning of this one, that it is a bit of a rabbit hole. So it's a rabbit hole warning. So so like we're not already down a rabbit hole, you know. I mean, it's Inception with bunny rabbits, I think. Actually, that'd be I would actually go to see that in the cinema, if they just redid Inception but with all the actors are bunny rabbits. It'd be kind of like a Watership Down thing, wouldn't it? But with multi-layered dreams and so on. So yeah, what is reality? What's up, Doc? And so on. So yeah, so the AI that we've been talking about here isn't really, I mean, it is AI. Okay, upfront, it is AI, but it isn't really AI in the sense that we think about it these days. So like to invent all of these 10,000 candidate materials and do the amazing physics-based discoveries and things, they obviously weren't using an LLM like Gemini or GPT-4o or whatever, that's kind of sitting there and thinking about batteries. So the AI in this case was more of a specialized set of deep learning models designed for physics. But isn't that kind of the same thing? Well, yes and no. So the Raman breakthrough used machine learning force fields like MLFFs and Tensorial ML. So you could think of that as kind of like a narrow AI. So it's trained on the results of density functional theory, or DFT, which is basically the source code, in inverted commas, of quantum chemistry. So it doesn't reason about why a battery is better. So instead, it kind of it just number crunches on a huge, you know, tensor model. Effectively, it kind of predicts a specific physical value, like the vibrational frequency of an atom, with apparently 99% accuracy. And so it's a hyper advanced mathematical filter, not a chatbot. So by contrast, an LLM, as we tend to think of it, is a chatbot, depending on the interface. So so an LLM is more trained to predict the next token, like the, you know, word or symbol in a sequence based on human language. So it's a more generalist kind of thing. So mathematically, there's really not that much of a difference between the two, but functionally, there's a huge difference. So and under the hood, they're both kind of both a reasoning AI and a scientific ML model are actually doing kind of the same thing, which is high dimensional pattern matching. They both use neural networks to map an input to a probable output. So so they're just like different AI paradigms in effect. But the probably sort of out of the rabbit hole now, but it's worth mentioning because we're actually starting to see these two different AI paradigms merge, like already, into a kind of hybrid AI, like for very kind of just like special purpose things, like so essentially, like for chemistry, we're starting to see new kind of like foundation models for materials that try to use the reasoning style of an LLM to suggest new chemical formulas, which are then passed to this force field ML thing to see if they actually work. So there are some examples. I didn't create an infographic for this. I probably should have. But what it boils down to is that you get like the narrow purpose ML number crunching models end up with kind of a more reasoning, kind of more general purpose model on top to orchestrate the whole thing and just kind of architect the whole process and so on. So it's I just find it really interesting because it's these two just completely different things, two different use cases, I suppose, but with fundamentally the same stuff going on inside, but they've been like layered on top of each other. So but yeah, there's all sorts. There's like Microsoft has MatterGen, which is a bit like a mid-journey for molecules. Use a diffusion model to generate like whole 3D crystal structures and things based on text prompts. We just like say, oh yeah, I want a 3D crystal structure that's got these properties and that properties, and it just goes off and creates, like designs one essentially. And the Google DeepMind has their GNOME with GNOME, which is a similar sort of thing. Creates like again about stable crystal structures, gives them like an atlas of materials that technically shouldn't exist, but kind of do. There's a few others, but you kind of get the idea. That's that particular story, and that's about half an hour, isn't it? There's not. And we got two. Like it's just more or less half an hour, a bit less to cover the other one.
Yeah, I don't really know what to say about that, really, but yeah, it's quite complicated, isn't it?
Yes, yeah. I played the rabbit hole warning, so we knew that was about to go down a deep rabbit hole there.
And what was the watt hour per kilogram? We're talking 300 kilowatts per kilogram. Is that right?
Yeah, there was something like that. I forgot. Let me scroll back. It was search for Tesla or something. I think I've lost it now. But it was some big number. But it was basically, I've got to find it. It's silly not to. Yeah, here it's so 500 watt hours per kilo.
500
in terms of the energy density. So that's nearly double what you get in a Tesla Model 3 battery, apparently.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think how big the battery is in my bike, actually, because the battery is 725 kilowatts. Sorry, 725 watts.
Yeah.
Ah, yeah, okay. Yeah. Oh, right. Okay, yeah. So we are talking a lot, aren't we? Yeah.
I think so, yeah. That'd be pretty good. So just a quick hi to Crypto J. Thank you for joining us. Good afternoon. Back to you. And likewise, etc. So if anyone else wants to comment, I realise we went a bit deep into the weeds a bit on that last one, but even if you just want to say hi, just pop a hi into the chat, if you wouldn't mind. So on to the next one. I could very quickly play the thing, so I probably should have done this earlier. Let's do this now. So that's that. And something I didn't realize is that StreamYard, which we're streaming through, has their own thing, which looks like that, like and subscribe.
Oh,
and it's quite good. It's also got welcome up there behind the logo, and Q&A.
all right.
And well done, you've won an achievement. Oh, and breaking news. There isn't really any, but useful in case there ever is. So
is that in the old media assets? Is it?
Yeah, just at the top, it's got like overlay.
Oh, bloody hell! Okay, never saw that. Excellent.
Yeah, you can add your own as well. So,
I will.
yeah, so that's kind of that one. So what's next? DeepRare. Yeah. Next story. DeepRare. So transcending human limits, because it's another of these kind of puny humans are puny, AIs are superior in every way. Transcending human limits in rare disease diagnosis. So where are we at? Blah 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 blah. Further blah blah blah. Here we go. So yeah, the oh crikey, sorry, I just realized I didn't line up a thing that I was supposed to line up. Let me just quickly do this. Let's move that over here for a second, because I'm going to add a few things. Maybe I'll just add this one. Copy around. Yeah, so this is essentially this is a paper that appeared very recently, just like this year or somewhere. They just say like 2026. There's not. I couldn't. Oh, there you go. Published 18th of February 2026. That's a bit more specific. So anyway, DeepRare is an agentic system powered by LLMs for the diagnosis of rare diseases. It's been developed by a team from Xinhua Hospital and Shanghai Jiao Tong University. I thought what was quite interesting on here, though, is that their abstract here begins, rare diseases affect more than 300 million people worldwide, yet timely and accurate diagnosis remains an urgent challenge, which I think is probably true. But essentially, it's like they're arguing that rare diseases are really common.
You need to know. You need to know how many diseases you're talking about there, aren't you? You know
that there is.
If there's only two rare diseases.
Yeah, and they're not really rare. Yeah. So
exactly.
I mean, it might be that there are thousands of rare diseases. Well, in fact, I'm sure there are. You know, or it could be that there's 1 million rare diseases, but each one affects 300 people. That's probably more like it, to be honest. I think these probably are genuinely rare diseases. So, but so essentially the thing here, so DeepRare, which is this thing that these people in the Xinhua Hospital and Shanghai Jiao Tong University basically have created, is an agentic AI product. There was this study on it. With my mouse on. There was this study here, this whole thing, which kind of discovered that this agentic AI, DeepRare, outperforms specialist doctors on like rare disease diagnosis. So it's kind of like, so kind of wonder, like, could this be an example of doctors, like clinicians' jobs being at risk because AI can now do a much better job than them? Or is it an example of doctors' roles being elevated? It could be either, you know. So in other words, is this sort of thing, is it just like a better diagnostic tool? Kind of like if Grok draws a rude picture, is Grok just being a super advanced type of pencil? And the pencil, you know. So similarly, like, is DeepRare a super advanced kind of stethoscope in this case? Like, you know, is it's a better diagnostic tool for doctors, or is it just actually going to take the doctor's job because it's so damn effective? So from that, sorry, excuse the pause. I'm just going to play this one, and this clip might actually answer the question accidentally.
This is MY turf now.
Couple of things. MY turf is meant to be my turf, but my in capitals. So it's that this is MY turf, and obviously the doctor didn't walk out through the door; he just kind of walked behind the door. Just play.
This is MY turf now.
so that went a bit wrong. I was quite encouraged by the result of that video, because it kind of it's kind of an example of how our jobs might be safe for a little while longer, because you still kind of need a human in the loop, and just to check things, have a bit of the old human intuition on there, at least for now, until AI's advanced just even more. So just humans in the loop still. We've still got it. So for now. But to answer the question though, which is probably the thing. So for now, I'd say DeepRare is a better stethoscope. So it's, although it's a hyper advanced diagnostic kind of stethoscope, but still it's a tool for doctors, not a doctor replacement. So DeepRare has already been implemented. Sorry, I was just thinking maybe for this I'll bring up, excuse all the things there. Where did the picture thing go? Is that one? Yeah, this. I'll just show that. So is that still, DeepRare has already been implemented as a web application for doctors. So there's raredx.cn/doctor is the thing. So in a way, this is kind of like the news thing here is about that study, really, that was done with DeepRare as kind of part of the subject. But for me, at any rate, the real news here is that DeepRare is already kind of a thing, is out there being used, because it's actually being used by hundreds of medical institutions worldwide, which is kind of a thing, isn't it? Just like AI is just like everywhere now, like can't get away from it essentially. How do you feel on that? It's a thing, isn't it? Just it's just kind of not invaded. It's intrinsic in our lives now, like everywhere.
Yeah, I like the stethoscope analogy. I mean, if someone gave me a stethoscope, I wouldn't have a clue what to do with it, and I wouldn't, if I had a really good one, it wouldn't make it. I still wouldn't know what to do with it. So there's that.
Yeah, true. It's like going on to like WebMD or whatever, and coming away like a complete hypochondriac. The usual sort of result. Versus having kind of someone who's been trained to diagnose properly, to spot the things of this or that, or also just what, even like given a set of potential diagnoses, what to do with them, So from that point of view, so I did the whole thing about AI just becoming like ubiquitous everywhere. I suddenly realised that there's this book. Actually, where is it? Yeah. That might be back to front, actually. It probably is. The Humanoids by Jack Williamson is kind of a novella, really. But it's essentially, this is like a vintage sci-fi thing, but essentially where the humanoid robots in the book kind of run our lives, and they're so hyper caring about our welfare that they don't allow us to take any risks. So it's actually a deeply disturbing book. I think more people should probably read it, because I think it's kind of the direction we're heading in, really, in that sense. But then mind you, Jack Williamson also wrote that, which is like the Trial of Terror. which has nothing to do with this at all, but it's, you know, it's also a good book. Anyway, so, but less of a must read, I think, that second one.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, would it ever get to the situation where, I mean, I quite like comedy. I quite like, you know, stand-up comedians and things like that. I mean, would you ever get to a situation where you've actually got like a, you know, a thing on stage, doing a comedy routine that you actually find funny? I can't imagine it ever. But
yeah, it is a weird thing, because I mean, but in fact, there's something that I tweeted, like maybe last week. I said that with such disdain, and something I tweeted like last week, maybe, or the week before even. But it's just about AI produced kind of fiction, in that case, like novels and stories and whatnot.
all right.
And just, yeah, I wouldn't really want. I wouldn't find any enjoyment. I believe this could be pure cope, but I don't think I'd find any enjoyment, particularly in reading an AI generated novel, because it's just there's something very human about reading fiction, reading a story, because it's kind of like, even though it is a bit one way, but in your mind it isn't. But it's like having a conversation with the author. It's like a matching of wits, or pitting your wits against theirs, that kind of thing. Like genuinely, you know, especially if it's something like, I don't know, Philip K. Dick or Gene Wolfe or some sci-fi author like that, where they it's all about like puzzling things out, and it really is like, it's, you know, what are you doing there, Gene, or what are you doing there, Philip K. Dick, or whatever, you know, and just like trying to figure out what's really going on, and it's enjoyable in that sense. But if it's something that a machine has churned out, done to a formula, it's much more just kind of, you know, it's just clinical and not very. I just wouldn't be interested in reading that stuff.
Yeah, I'd also be thinking like, well, you know, why read one that somebody else has done? I may as well just do my own. And read that, you know.
Oh, totally. Yeah. I think what it'll probably become is, in fact, may already be heading there. It's a bit like going out to a vending machine and saying, and you can just like type in the sort of drink that you want, and describe it, and it'll always give you like something that tastes almost but not quite completely unlike tea, that kind of thing. And but it'll be like that, except for you kind of tell it, oh, I want a story that has these elements, blah 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 blah, and, you know, use this style. I want it to be like cyberpunk retro style, you know, and whatever, noir, and so on and so on. But that's a bit crap as well, to be honest. It's I don't know, what is that? It's like semi-creative, I suppose, isn't it? Because in a way, it's a bit like you kind of give a image prompt or a video prompt, and Nano Banana or whatever just produces this thing that looks amazing and is ultra arty, well composed, and then I'm there kind of thinking like, oh, I'm so talented, I just created that, you know. No, I didn't. Really, I didn't. But it'd be so I don't think there's going to be that kind of even satisfaction of feeling like I've just co-created a story with the AI, and now it's generated the actual story and it's reading back. So yeah, in either case, that doesn't interest me that much. I'd much rather read something that a person's written, because to me that's kind of the point of it. It sounds a bit sad, but it's like it's human contact in a way. You know, be it one with the apes. So yeah, that's us, by the way.
Yeah, and I always like things that are a little bit edgy, you know. So I like, you know, I like, for example, comedians who, like, you know, push it a little bit too far, and it's actually, you know, becomes almost sort of distasteful and cringy, you know, but at the same time it's kind of like, you know, I find it very funny, you know. So I can't imagine the, you know, sycophantic nature of AI ever being like that. But maybe it could, you know, if you can say, like, you know, can you just be a bit more argumentative with me? And then they're just going to argue with you, aren't they? You know, it's like, I don't know. It's
yeah, that's true.
there's something missing, stopping it being human, like, you know.
Yeah, you'll get to the point where it's kind of like you want it to be spontaneous, but not to the extent that it suddenly just, you know, burns your house down or something. You know, just not that spontaneous, sort of, you know. And then it's just like, sorry, you're absolutely right. That was too spontaneous. Let me try that again.
Yeah.
You blew my house down. But it's like, so telling it to be spontaneous is removing the spontaneity. You know what I mean? So it's, you know, I mean, so don't get me wrong though. I don't actually have anything against AI produced media at all. I know there's like a whole, like, probably quite all this controversial, like, hot take type of conversations we had around the morality of where the models were trained from and that sort of stuff. But it's just it, like, actually consuming that kind of media just doesn't really interest me that much, particularly not for, like, for stories and stuff. Anyway, yeah. So where did we get to? So on here then. So this is like a slightly more less dry, is a less dry version of this like the nature abstracts and what it's going to talk about in there. So essentially, this reporting of it in News Medical Life Sciences is kind of saying, to recap a bit, like, DeepRare AI helps to shorten the rare disease diagnostic journey with evidence-linked predictions. And essentially there are diagnostic delays around just, you know, because, like, if it's a rare disease, then a doctor is probably not really going to be that kind of au fait with it. So it's like, this person has such and such, like, rare tropical disease or something, or rare genetic disease that only affects like 300 people in the entire world at any time. So of course they're going to miss a diagnosis over that. They're just going to say, like, you know, oh yeah, just I'll prescribe you some steroid cream. Go and rub that on it, and you know, and of course they'll get the little kickback from the prescription. So they're happy, the patient's happy until they, you know, keel over or whatever. So from their rare disease. So essentially then, so this is probably quite a good thing in that sense, because it's sort of showing that what's it showing? So doctors can actually use this this diagnostic tool, AI tool, in their day-to-day diagnoses, as long as they do this kind of thing. But I mean, it was saying that what's it called? Is it Rare ML, whatever it's called? DeepRare is already in use in like hundreds of different medical institutions and things. But if it was, like, hooked up properly to like, you know, someone walks into a doctor's surgery, and they habitually kind of go through this for each patient that comes in, they're hopefully not going to miss something then. So this is a better stethoscope for sure. I think we're probably quite close to wrapping this up. I think we've probably done that one to death, that particular story. So what have we got? Remarkably low viewership today, I've noticed, across the platforms. I think last time had a better headline. So last time did have a better headline, I think, and that did make quite a big difference. Like more of a clickbait title and so on. So I'll have to it's all useful. It's kind of grist to the mill, isn't it? Of what works and what doesn't for these live streams, I think. So, so yeah. What else we got? Anyway, so there was just super quickly. If I copy this thing, put it in. Goblin cards. I think it may have been Scotty from the Save with Crypto Discord, I believe, who brought this up. And so this is essentially a private debit card that actually stays private, and it uses Monero, the privacy crypto coin. So, and to me that's absolutely bloody mad. That something like this exists is brilliant. So I believe that what this allows you to do is you can, like, you set up your Goblin card account, and then you can just kind of hook it up to a Monero wallet, self-hosted Monero wallet, and spend away. Go and buy your groceries, go and tap and pay on whatever you want it, really, and just comes out of the Monero, which is pretty great.
So at some point, because you're not going to buy, your tin of beans for like 1 Monero.
Yeah.
There is going to be a fiat to Monero transaction, isn't there?
There has to be, I think, because it's still MasterCard in this case.
Which MasterCard know about. So
yeah, but if it's KYC'd effectively, so it could be like a burner card in a sense. I don't know if those are even legal in the UK.
Right.
But possibly. So like if you haven't, Goblin they've got a website. So essentially, yeah. Oh, okay. Now this makes it interesting. The only non-KYC physical card. So you can get a physical MasterCard. Know your customer. In case, I mean, everybody knows that, but just in case, no KYC. So you don't have to identify yourself to get one. ATM cash withdrawals, spending coins. Spending fiat shit coins, essentially, spend from that or that.
That is quite incredible.
Yeah. Wow. Is it US only? I wonder at the moment.
So it's probably like Nigeria only, wasn't it?
Yeah, but if you can find one, go to whatever country where you can just buy a stack of them.
It shouldn't matter, should it? If it's no KYC, you should be able to do it anywhere because there's no KYC.
Yeah, I mean, just it's true actually. Yeah, it's kind of a good point. But I suppose if you want to get the physical card, then just kind of shipping it, you'd have to have a PO box in Nigeria or wherever.
Yeah.
In Tonga. So. Is that real? Is that hooked up to my? No, I didn't give it permission to hook up to my Phantom wallet. I don't think that's the right amount anyway. But is that just teasing?
Must be.
Yeah, but you can pay from Tether for what it's worth. Where did Monero go? Solana. I love that it's got Monero in there. That's such a game-changing, brilliant thing. Now Monero is like real internet money. It's Cash 2.0. I'm so shocked and excited by that I can't even. So, gosh, yeah. Okay.
Can we apply for one now then?
Well, I don't really want to online. Name math.
No. But no, I don't want to. I mean,
I don't want to start typing.
Like, is it available? Is it available? No.
Oh, I see. Proceed to. Actually, what did I click on in the first place? Sorry. I hope I didn't dox myself with a load of different things, autocomplete things coming out then. Anyway,
yeah, be careful.
I clicked on that, didn't I? Get your card now. Oh, I really hope
Okay.
it's not just a dumb scam thing. Oh, I see. Is that what they mean? That you have to pay? I see now. I wasn't really paying very much attention there. You can buy one for the sum of $355.25.
All right.
I think that's what it means.
Right. That's suddenly become less
Shipping
attractive.
yeah, isn't it? So shipping included. Please include your full shipping address. Where? Suddenly, it's also looking a little bit shady. Yeah. Oh well. At the moment, I don't recommend anyone go out and put the details in here and randomly send them $350. You may never see that money again or any product. I don't know. Maybe they're legit. Who the hell knows? But anyway, that was kind of interesting. So, oh yeah, it's 5:30, isn't it? We're probably sort of done.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
just very quickly, yeah. Sorry, go on. Yeah.
No, I was just going to say, if you do have other topics, we can always save for next time.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think that is about it for now. Out of time. So I kind of hope that hit just the right balance of informative and entertaining. So I know it did turn into a bit of a deep down the rabbit hole kind of lecture. So I mean, this is your old schoolmaster, Mr. Math, signing off. Any last words before we go?
Not really. The battery thing. I might look into that a bit more, because I didn't really totally understand what that was all about, actually. But
yeah.
So
do a bit of a rewatch on that one. What I'll probably do is actually excerpt that into just a separate video. I'll edit it down as well, so it's a bit sharper and so on, and add explainer text and things like that. Also, one thing, just very quickly, this is a bit of a sneak peek infographic from what we'll be looking at this Thursday. So we're doing a sort of Philip K. Dick special in a way, because there's actually a Philip K. Dick PKD film festival this week in New York, not showing films that are based on his books and stories, but showing new films that are inspired by his stuff. So I thought we could probably spend that episode exploring themes of consciousness, reality, probably gnosis, paranoia, drug abuse, and altered consciousness, all those kinds of good things, just in the context of science and technology and things as well. So, and about just how all of that is suddenly very relevant to our modern lives. So, and in the meantime, so we'll be back here for that on Thursday, with that and a few other things, same time, 4:30 UK time. And tomorrow we'll be live streaming from the Save with Crypto channel on X and YouTube. And I don't think I've got a graphic thing to show for that. We ought to get one of those. So do tune in for that. So on Save with Crypto on YouTube. So we'll be talking all things Bitcoin, crypto, and live trading with the Quadzilla indicator, which, if you're a financial trader, you should definitely check out. And that's it, really. You need to go, don't you? So don't forget to subscribe, follow, like, comment, all the good things. And till next time, bye.
Bye.
Bye. Oh, sorry, I clicked the wrong button. Try again.